Um, let's just get started, shall we? Okay, let's start adding some light where our light source is going to come from, up here in the corner. We're just going to put a little bit on with a great big thick brush. All right, one of these right here. We are trying a new tripod to see if things are more out of the way and if everyone gets a better view of the painting. So, as you are watching, please make sure that you comment and let me know if one, you're brand new to it, two, if you're someone that has come along that I know, it is always nice to have my friends hop in and watch me paint. It's always a great thing to be able to help them see how the paintings that they end up purchasing come to fruition. So we're just going to soften it up with makeup brushes. Any of you that have watched me plenty of times before know that I use makeup brushes quite a bit in my paintings. And again, what we're doing right here is we are just going to go ahead and add the light source, and we'll just kind of bring it out a little bit, get it mixing across our blue field. We're going to take a look at the camera, find out exactly how that's working. Looks like it's okay. We've got a little bit of glare. Hopefully it won't be too much for you guys to enjoy the painting with. In fact, let's try repositioning the camera just a little bit. See if that helps at all. Okay. And we're also going to move our light source a little bit away here. There, it's not too overpowering. Okay. Let's start painting away, shall we? Oh, let's do something here. Let's cut that out of the back, and much better, much less glare. Okay, all right, now we're on to something. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is this painting is going to be some great big fluffy cumulus clouds. I'm going to take some titanium white and I'm going to take some yellow ochre, and I'm just going to start picking out the shape of this great big cloud. Well, give it a little bit here and there. We really want to push this around until we have our shape. Once I get the shape the way that we like it, then we will start picking out a lot more detail. So right now, we're just blocking in shapes. That is all we're doing right now. Okay. There we go. Yes. All right, there we go. All right, now, if you're just joining, my name is Sean Nathan Ricks. I am the creator of the iMagi Kingdom of Thor card game. I am also the author of iMagi, as well as The Man Who Would Be Time. And if you'd like to take a look at any of my novels, which is the best way to support the channel, just go ahead to buymynovels.com. Visit that, B-U-Y, buymynovels.com. That is the absolute best way to support. And since all of those are sold on Amazon, you can also find iMagi on Amazon. The link through buymynovels.com, that takes you directly to Amazon to purchase those. Okay, and again, all we're doing is we're just getting a blocked out portion of a great big cumulus cloud. And again, all we're putting in right now is going to be some titanium white and some yellow ochre. We're just blocking out the shape, so we're not getting into the nitty-gritty of any of the fun stuff yet. All right, here we go. Yes, it's working just fine. Yes, yes, yes. Today's kind of a rough day. Had some interesting things happen today. I may have very much hurt some people's feelings. And I don't like that. And I may have unintentionally thrown some people under the bus, and I don't like that either. So I'm just going to say I'm very sorry about all of that and move on. Let's keep on painting. And again, if you are new to the channel, please go ahead and comment, say hello. Make sure that I know that you're there. I would love to hear from you. I love hearing from brand new fans. Okay, we are getting a great shape here for our cumulus cloud. Big cumulus nimbus, a big column cloud. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to leave that alone. And now we're going to dip into some transparent burnt umber. And we're going to bring in a little bit of burnt sienna. And we'll pick out the back side of the cloud now. Now, the color may seem a little bit odd at first. That's not unusual. It's all going to mix just fine on the canvas. It's going to look right. And we're going to have a really fun time painting. Okay, we have about 20 people that are joining us right now, so I really do want to see some comments, and especially if you are artists. Now, I love other artists coming onto my page and advertising for themselves. I know it's a really odd thing, but I want other artists to be able to get exposure. So if you're a new artist and you have your own page and it doesn't have a lot of people, I have some really spectacular fans. They're not fans, they're friends. All of my fans are friends of mine, and they would be happy to know and learn about your page. So if you've got a YouTube channel, if you've got an Instagram, please make sure that you shout that out and let them know. See, we do not have, hi, Elizabeth Bailey, nice to meet you. Elizabeth, have you been to the page before, this channel? Please let me know, because I do not have the world's most perfect memory. In fact, I've survived open heart surgery, knee surgery, 2 ear surgeries. I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been run over by a carnival ride. I've had 8 concussions, 2 rollovers, and 3 broken ribs. And I just cracked 3 more ribs while I was teaching a judo class not too long ago, just a couple of weeks ago. So please, if you've been here before, remind me, because again, I don't have the world's most perfect memory. And I really want to know if you've been here before. No, you haven't been here before. That's great. Nice paintings. Say hi. Hi, Mavis Buckner. And Elizabeth, thanks for joining. Please make sure that you like and follow so you can see some other live paintings as I go along. I always add those, and then I do end up doing a couple of shorts where I will do treasure hunts. I'll take a limited edition print plus a signed iMagi Kingdom of Thor card and a $5 bill, and I will put that in some treasure hunts. Now, most of those treasure hunts will be in my own backyard in a place called Logan, Utah, or Cache County, Utah, or maybe even as low as Ogden. Although I do have a friend that's all the way off in Houston. I'm going to be sending him one of these treasure packets. He's going to hide it there, and then we're going to end up having a treasure hunt there. So always like and subscribe, and then always watch the YouTube shorts so you can find out where those are at. It's just something fun that I enjoy doing. My art is something that I want everyone to enjoy, and so I give away quite a bit of it. Now, I've sold a little more than 1,000 paintings in my life. By the way, we're going to start coming across here with more of our highlights. I've sold a little more than 1,000 paintings in my life. I mean, I'm not going to guarantee all of those were sold for a fortune. I like to think of myself as the $5 pizza of the art world. Everybody can afford an original from me. My goal is not to sell paintings for thousands of dollars. My goal is to sell paintings to the average everyday working person. Someone who wants to have an amazing painting, somebody who wants to have an original. I will sell my originals for as little as $300. To my friends, my really close friends, I've even sold my paintings for as little as $150. So there are lots of things that I've done for people that I absolutely adore. I want to shout out one person that I absolutely adore. Her name is Karen. She's a very special and unique person. She runs a really cool art show at a convention called RadCon. And she is the absolute best person who has ever run an art show. She's spectacular in every way, shape, and form. So I want to give her a shout out. And Karen, I, along with everybody else, you know we love you. Okay, let's keep on playing here. You like to paint trees and water, Elizabeth? That's great. You know, you're going to have to, if you've got an Instagram page, you're going to have to tell my friends here about it. Please do. We all want to know what your artwork looks like. It is one of those things where artwork was meant to be shared. It brings beauty, truth, and appreciation to everybody. It allows people to see from a different perspective. And I'd like you to share that. I always want artists to share their stuff. So we're going to keep on going here. Now, our cloud, it's got a lot of interesting colors in it right now, but one of the things it doesn't have is it does not have, oh, I need to plug this in. Hold on a second, guys. I do not have, there. All right, now my phone is charging. My phone was about ready to cut out on us. Thank you, Elizabeth. One of the colors we're going to add here, if I can find it real quick, is we want to throw some Payne's Gray in there. Now, Payne's Gray is one of these spectacular semi-transparent acrylic colors. And it has this nature about it of being able to add a lot of depth in a very short amount of time. We're going to mix our Payne's Gray with some of our transparent burnt umber. And then we're just going to come across the back and just slap some colors in different spots. Just like that. Awesome. Loving it. And you move over to your makeup brush. We're going to get that one a little bit cleaner. It still has some paint on it. And we're going to come across here and just mix it. Now, as we do so, if we push a little too hard, we will pull some of the paint off the background. Now, that's okay, because clouds are not completely opaque all the way through it. They've got a lot of depth to them. There are certain areas of the cloud that are not going to be transparent. There's certain areas that will be transparent. And you have to kind of make up that determination as you go. Let's get a little bit right in here as well. Okay, now we're going to switch over to another brush here. Hang on one second. We'll go ahead and get this. Yes, it's looking good. Now you have to work really fast when you're dealing with acrylic because it'll set up quick on you. And if your brush is too dry as you're painting, it's going to go ahead and pick up too much of the background as well. So sometimes you have to dip these in a little bit of color, a little bit of water, and then get it to work again. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's get a little bit more of that color going down here. We'll just kind of move it, and we've got to blend this in real quick. And then across here. Oh, yes. Everything's working great. I'm very happy with the way that we've got everything going. Okay. Good, good, good stuff. Okay, make sure that you like and comment, subscribe, and tell me all about your adventures in painting. Maybe eventually we will add some happy little trees. We might even add a floating painting over, or a floating island over top of this, because I do enjoy painting floating islands. If you would like to commission a painting, all you have to do is shoot me an email. My name is Sean Nathan Ricks. The email is SeanNathanRicks. Sean Nathan Ricks. I'd be happy to do a live painting for you and talk to you about a commission. All right, let's just keep on going here. We're really getting a nice cloud bank going. And in just a moment, we're going to pull out a giant brush and soften everything up. Let's go ahead and get that going. There we go. Yes. Okay, let's take a look at the comments. Can you draw a picture of Palestine? I don't know. I mean, what are the defining characteristics of Palestine? I wouldn't really know what that is. I mean, I can paint anything. Doesn't matter what it is, I can paint it. All right. Okay, we're going to drop our brushes that we're using into a mix of water, and then we're going to bring a brush out that is mostly dry, just a tiny bit wet, but it's a great big brush. It's going to be this one right here. These great big makeup brushes are going to do a wonderful amount of stuff for us. What it's going to do right here is soften everything up. Okay, yeah. And as it softens it up, it's going to blend it right on the canvas for us. And it's going to make the clouds appear a little bit more like clouds. There we go. Yes. Yes. That's a happy, happy thing that's happening right there. All right. And I'm very happy with the way some of it is picking up from the background. We're just going to get a little bit of depth there. You like to paint rainbows, Elizabeth? That's fantastic. And Elizabeth, you're on Facebook and TikTok. Well, that's wonderful. Make sure that you drop your ID for your channel on TikTok and Facebook so that people can find you and take a look at your art. Okay, now that brush that we were just using has got to be cleaned a little bit and set aside to dry. And we are going to come through and start picking out some more details on the front end. This time, we're going to dip into a really nice peach color. We're going to use a much smaller brush, and then once we're done with this one, we're going to move over to another makeup brush. So let's get this going right here, just kind of pick out some details. Yes, it's amazing how quickly the painting starts to come together. And just all these colors give it some depth that you don't get in other ways. And then the makeup brush is going to be our hero here. It's a little too dry, so we've got to get some water on it. And let's just pull that away from the forefront of the cloud and get it to mix right on the canvas. Yes, we are happy with the way that's working. And we want to bring in a little bit more of the white. Now you'll notice we picked up a little bit of paint in certain areas here. It picked it up off of the background because this is really tacky. We're moving so fast that if we're not careful, we're going to pull all of our paint right off of where we're working. So we're going to come in with a nice flat brush with a ton of titanium white on it. And we're going to fill in more depth onto this cloud. You have to imagine that these clouds are like a ball. They go all the way around. And it's going to be layer upon layer upon layer that we add to this. And all of those many layers are going to really give us the kind of depth we need. Okay, now let's go ahead and pick this out. Loving the way it looks. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Want to add a little bit out here. So there's a bit of cloud in the background there that's much further back. Get a little wisp going on through here. And then soften it up with a great big flat brush. Yeah, that looks nice. Loving that. Let's get a little bit more of that here. And a little bit of this pulling it around. All right. Very happy with the way everything's working. It's moving along. The paint is flowing. And the idea is coming to fruition quickly. Okay, I always love it when it does that. Now we've got kind of a forefront there. We're going to pull a little bit in. That looks a bit unnatural, having too much separation there. There. That is much better. Yes. Very good. All right, let's see. What kind of comments do we have? You like the peach color. Thank you. All right, now, hey, make sure that you like and subscribe, or else you'll never be able to find me again, because that's the nature of the way Utah. That's where I'm at, is in Utah. That's the nature of the way that YouTube works, is if you do not like and subscribe, you'll never find it and be able to watch my live paintings again. So if you're new, like and subscribe. If you're an artist, make sure that you comment with your information so all of my friends and fans can find you. And if you're someone that dislikes the work and you want to end up tearing it down, By all means, I want you guys to comment too, because every comment will end up helping the algorithm. So just be aware, I have a pretty rabid fan base. They're very loyal and nice people. In fact, they're some of the best people on the face of the planet, and sometimes I wonder why they end up following my work. But, they're great people. So be aware, if you are going to come on here to try and trash my work, they may start saying that you can go places. Okay. All right. We're really getting a lot of wonderful detail. We're laying down some great layering on the paint. And the forefront of our cloud is having a lot of beautiful work done to it. Oh, we're going to just go ahead and get that in that way. Yes, very happy with the way it works. Let's go ahead and soften it up real quick with this. So far, our cloud's looking nice on the top. Let's start working down here, okay? All right. First thing I want to do is determine exactly how this extra layer here is going to work. And I think the best way is for this cloud to come across and join here. That way this piece is in the background of it. We'll come across a bit higher, move on and on and on. Yes! Look at the way that beautiful cloud is coming out. And by all means, if you do want to support the channel in spectacular ways, please go and find my website, buymynovels.com. Purchase the iMagi Kingdom of Thor card game, or purchase the novel iMagi. Or if you really love getting some of the paintings, you can purchase some limited edition prints. You just have to contact me about these prints, because I won't necessarily always put everything on the website. Okay. Let's make this a little bit more transparent through here. So we're going to dip into some water, and we're going to try and pick up some of the paint that we've already laid down. We're going to try and make holes through it. That'll push that further to the background and make it so it's not quite as heavy on the contrast. Yes. All right. Yes. Loving the way everything's working. All right. We're probably going to bring in some more of that. Now let's see here. Melania717, the studio lights are off, a shadow in the right corner, and viewers can't see. Need a direct camera setup of canvas. Feedback and look at your shape. Step back and look at shape. Sir, have you heard of the with fail arts? I don't know what a lot of you guys are saying. Are you saying that you can't actually see all of this, or there's too much glare? Let's try and fix that a bit. Let's try that. Does that help? Got to be careful, or I'll keep on bumping the thing. Okay, let's get some more of our Payne's Gray, and let's just put some right along the back to get our contrast going. Okay. All right. That looks nice. Now, once we've got that, let's just soften it up. Now, it may not look like it's mixed very well yet, but the next layer that we put down on top of that will. We have to pull some of the water out of it with this super dry brush. There we go. All right. Now, the next layer we put in there is going to make a huge difference. In fact, what we're going to do now is let's pull out some Prussian blue. And we are going to take the Prussian blue now, and mix it with our, let's see, mix it with our Payne's Gray and a little bit of permanent black so that we can really get more of our shadow along the backside. Okay, let's see here. There's eyes and mouth and legs. Cool. All right. You have a pareidolia. I'm not even sure what that is. Anybody want to tell me what a pareidolia is? Not sure. Now you guys just hang on a second. I have to blend my color here so that we can really get our background color on the backside of the clouds. And now we're going to pull some of this through. Yes. Now it looks a little bit too dark now. Trust me, guys, as we bring in the layering, it is going to make a big difference. I'm going to leave that there, and we're going to switch over to one of my trusty makeup brushes right here. And this is what I mean by it will start to mix right on the canvas. Yes, looks fantastic. Okay, and again, if you're new to the channel and you have not already liked and subscribed, please do. I did end up getting a new subscriber who's all the way down in Mexico. I want to give them a shout out. They'd like me to do a treasure hunt down in Mexico. Not exactly sure how I'd end up doing a treasure hunt down in Mexico, but I like the idea. So I do want to give that person a shout out. To my knowledge, they're the only fan that I've got down in Mexico. Let's get a little bit of rain going, and let's darken up that corner a bit. And a little bit down there. And soften up the edge because we're going to come through with another color and bring it forward to the front of the cloud. Let's do that. What we're going to do now is we're going to pull in some of the transparent burnt umber along there, and then some of the burnt sienna along that same forefront. And then we're going to quickly dip into some of our yellow ochre. And it looks like we're just putting colors on there. And that is true. We are just putting colors on there because the next thing that we do is going to mix it all right on the canvas for us. We've got to take this brush and we've got to hurry up and dry it a bit. And then we've got to mix it right onto the canvas. Now, if it looks like I'm overpowering some of the forefront of it, some of our highlights, not to worry, that will change as we go along. We're going to do a mixture of our, let's see, we're going to do some clockwise and some counterclockwise. And just get our colors to really pull through so we have a lot of variety of color going into our low light or our shadows on the back end. And we're going to pull that way, soften it up, pull it down. Yes, we're looking very happy. Let's bring a bit through here. Yeah, okay, and maybe darken it up here. I don't like the fact that that part of the sky is really vibrant. We'll just get that. Now, we can start working on the forefront of the clouds. Aureontis, thank you for letting me know that my work is beautiful. And let's move on to all of our highlights now, shall we? Okay, for the highlights, I need to bring back a specific brush, and I'm looking for it. Got to find it. It's in the water. Okay, let's get it out of the water so that we can actually move on to this. All right, now we're going to take this brush right here, and this is the one that's going to give us some really spectacular forefronts of our clouds. There we go. Let's just go ahead and pick that out. Yes. Happy with the way that is looking. Bring some back in here. Bring some of it out a little bit. And if you guys want a hint, if you want to make your white clouds look more vibrant, you don't keep adding white, you add yellow. The color that I prefer adding the most is not a vibrant and bright yellow. I prefer adding yellow ochre. And then, of course, my titanium white over top of that. And you start to get some pretty spectacular clouds going on. You can leave it with the really thick, heavy brush strokes, or you can do what I like doing, and that is switching over always to your makeup brushes, because your makeup brushes will blend everything for you on the canvas. And again, you have to work very quickly if you're going to do these methods, because your acrylic paint will try to dry up on you very fast. And as I take and bring some of that mixture forward and back and forth, I'm able to blend my clouds together. So I have my low light blending forward with my highlights, and it creates a pretty spectacular depth for you in clouds. And again, if you end up getting a little bit too dark coming into certain areas, the nice thing about paint is you can always add more layers to it. So it's layer upon layer upon layer. That's what you want to do. All right, there we go. All right. Let's take a look. How many people we've got on? 3 people. He hasn't peeked out yet. Hey, Andrew, how you doing, buddy? Coach you there. Mythica Almyers? No. I have absolutely no interest in being coached on anything by someone over the internet, since I already have certain people that are masters that work with me. So, no. Don't even bother. Not interested in it whatsoever. If that offends you, I'm sorry. I'm not interested in being coached. Okay. Now, we can keep on adding our depth and our layers here, and that's what we're going to go into. Where is the brush that I'm looking for? All right. Let's get a little bit of unbleached titanium. I'm going to add it through in certain spots, and then we're going to use the makeup brush to get it to blend nicely. We're going for high contrast right now, and that means that we're not going for a realistic look where we're going to have everything in the background fade out. And that is doing a great job for us. Layer, 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 layer. And there's always going to be more layers. There's always going to be more mixing. Whatever you think you see ends up changing as you see it. It's the nature of watching me paint. All right. Okay. I can watch you work all day, so thank you, Karen. Karen, you know I love you to death. Chat, he doesn't get it. Never mind. It's all right. A bit old, so I guess age is getting to you and your ego. Sure. I mean, if that's what you want to say, that my age and my ego are getting to me, who am I to argue with you? You've made up your mind, and we'll just kind of go with that. So that's okay by me. I learned long ago that if somebody has made up their mind, I'm not going to try and change it for them. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. Where is that brush? There it is. Okay, let's keep on going here. Let's add this going through here to different spots, kind of give us a little bit of forefront. By the way, if you're quoting my buddy Andrew, Andrew is somebody who has known me since I was about 10 years old, and he and I are in the same city. He comes and joins each one of mine because he's a spectacular guy. And if Andrew said something and I wanted an opinion from Andrew, I would listen to it. But Andrew is a very special person. When my older brother was sadly dying from cancer, Andrew spent 90 days of going to his bedside every single day, spending that time with my older brother Todd. It embarrasses Andrew a little bit, but Andrew needs to be recognized for how amazing he is. He is a very good person. He's like an older brother to me, and I love him to death. All right, and our clouds are starting to work really well. I also have treasure hunts. I'm perfectly okay. Let's see, who is it? Mythic Al Myers. If you want to suggest some better artists, go ahead. I'm under no delusions that I'm the best artist out there. I'm just an individual that has a YouTube channel. So if your intention is to come and insult me, by all means, keep on making the comments because it helps the algorithm. And ultimately, I don't care what you have to say. But if you want to suggest some better artists, drop their names in here. I'm all right with that. You want me to name a better artist? Rembrandt. You want me to name another better artist? Let's see. Hold on. I got this one. Caravaggio. Although Caravaggio may have been a serial killer. It's quite possible he was a serial killer. One of the more spectacular guys from the late Renaissance in Italy. Really amazing artist. You want me to name some contemporary artists that are better than me? I can do that. Bob Flippin' Ross. We all love Bob, right, guys? You see, you can't really hurt my feelings, buddy. So if your goal was to come here and try and hurt my feelings, just keep on commenting because I'm going to love the fact that those comments help the algorithm. There we go. We're really cooking now with the layer upon layer upon layer. I'm very happy with the way that's working out. Yes. Just be aware if you start insulting Andrew, then I am going to tell everyone in the comments to unleash upon you. I don't care if you decide to try and insult me. That's fine. All right. I'm very happy with the way that's looking. What do we got here? I'm special, right? The short bus. Thanks, Andrew. Kim Jong-gi, whoever the hell he is. Anybody here know who Kim Jong-gi is? That's something that this detractor here wants to say. So sure, Kim Jong-gi. Hey, everybody look him up. Why not? Look up Kim Jong-gi. Better artist than Sean. I'm all right with that. You know, you can't tell me that my ego is getting in the way because I don't really care and I want other people to succeed. I'm curious why you'd come on somebody else's site to try and tear them down. Is that like a trolling thing that you do? Is that something that deep down you have a need to try and hurt people? Seems like a pretty ridiculous thing to do in the comments, but hey, you know what? You do you, buddy. Let's add a little color there. I'm going to blend that in and blend that in. Let's keep having some fun, shall we? All right. Oh, yes. It's looking good, and I like that color. I'm going to play around with that color and then bring some white into it. And a little bit of the, some of our yellow ochre. Yes. Palestine is often represented in painting, though deeply symbolic elements such as ancient olive trees, red poppies, and the colors of the Palestinian flag. Artists also incorporate rich cultural. Oh, that's kind of cool. Very interesting. Whereas Kim Jong-un, Korean, butter. Yeah, it's whoever that is. Okay. You know, I don't get involved in politics, so I don't know who this is supposed to be. Anybody want to talk to this guy in the comments? Because it's okay for him to add the comments. He's well allowed to do that. It's weird comments to start making on somebody's art. All right, here we go. The Palestine thing, very interesting, by the way. I'll have to do some research there and take a look at some of what those are represented as. Because that's the kind of thing that I am open to. Taking a look at different styles, making decisions on what else to paint. Why not? I find it very interesting. Okay. Let's add a lot more yellow in this area because we're starting to get a little heavy with the white. And that yellow is going to bring us some more stuff to the forefront. There we go. And then we're going to go back to our makeup brush and blend, blend, blend. Okie dokie. Yes, I'm very happy with the way that looks. You know, I kind of like the tension that this guy is adding to things because tension and emotion ends up being something that builds a great painting. And I often talk about creating the tension and the drama on the canvas, which we're going to bring a lot more dark right here just to add it in. We're just going to put it straight on this brush. And we're going to make sure that it blends well. Yes, happy with the way that is looking. There we go. All right. And starting to have a really wonderful painting going on here. All right. What do we got as comments? Ariana, thank you. Thank you for loving that. Please check out an artist named Weffail Art. We will. We Fail Art. Okay. We will check that out. I noticed the other person stopped commenting. Did they end up leaving? Did they decide since they couldn't get underneath my skin, it wasn't worth their time? That's okay. You know what? Everybody's allowed to say something. It's okay. Now, what I learned long ago is that most humans carry around a lot of garbage with them, and that garbage needs to be emptied. And sometimes they choose someone who ends up being their garbage man. Well, that person ends up being the individual that they will dump it on. So I try not to get upset about something like that because if I'm giving them the service of allowing them to get rid of what it is that they're carrying, then that's something that I get to do as a human service that other people may not be capable of doing. They may not know how to accept all of that negativity without it affecting them. Some people just need to get rid of it. And if I end up being their human garbage can so that they can feel better, then I'm going to accept that and be happy with that lot in life. I think it's something that helps a lot of people that way. Most people wouldn't want to talk about how they're feeling, or they don't want to really work it out. They just want to blame it on somebody else. And you know what? If that's the case, that's okay. I will be their human garbage receptacle for them so that they end up having a better life. By the way, we ended up having a pretty interesting person step into the art studio right now. He's my friend Mike, so everybody in the comments say, hey, Mike. I think he's talking to the dog when he said, give me your... wet nose, and I don't want wet nose on my legs. Don't wear shorts in the studio. She's going to get you. I've got a nice puppy dog inside the studio as well. Her name is Hella. She's a German Shepherd Husky, and she's one of the cutest dogs ever. Right, Mike? Yeah, she's adorably cute. With her wet nose. Yeah, I know. She's going to keep on getting you. She likes you. Yeah. No more wet nose. That means you're a good person, Mike. Yeah, sure. See, what are you making of dodo? Let's see here. You sound like 55, 50, 55. You know what? I like Andrew's answer. I'm old as the hills. Older and more talented. You know what? My friend Renee said hi, Mike. Hi, Renee. What the hell is that? Well, it's supposed to be clouds, but you know what? A thunderhead? Yeah, sure. Okay. great big cumulus nimbus thunderhead. Works for me. Maybe something you'd see in the.
Because I see a lot of black in there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Thunderhead of death.
Well, you lived in over by the Dalles, right? In Oregon, right?
The Dalles.
The Dalles.
Yeah.
Didn't you see giant thunderheads like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it absolutely brutal when they came flying through?
No, they just go straight up.
Yeah.
They just build up out of nowhere and just billow straight up.
You know, a couple of the people that are listening are actually from Oregon, and then a lot of the people that are listening are from Washington.
Listening? Are you on your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, a lot of the people who are on here are from the Tri-Cities. Renee is from Walla Walla. We'll give a shout out to Renee. Renee's got a lot of my paintings. She's a very sweet and wonderful person. And, you know, I've got a lot of really great people that are friends of mine. Because I don't really have fans, Mike. I have friends. Because every time I end up going to any of these conventions, I just like being friends with them.
Well, you seem like a good friend to me, so. You know.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that, buddy. It's pretty close to being done, too. Renee has 5 of my paintings so far. Tell Mike it's under the fridge. I don't know what Andrew.
I got it.
Andrew hid it under the fridge?
No. I left it somewhere.
Oh, okay. So you know the Andrew that's listening here is the same one that comes into the studio all the time, right?
Where did you find it?
It's, Andrew, where did you find whatever it is what were you looking for? I'm left in the dark here.
Something important.
Something important?
Here, see?
Oh, under the fridge. Okay, great. Well, that makes more sense.
I must have took it out of my waistband and put it somewhere because I was using the bathroom and forgot to pick it back up.
You know.
Anyway, you take it easy, dude.
Thanks, buddy. See you later, man. All right. Well, we're looking good with what we've got. So you have Paul's and the slip you into art conversations. Makes sense why you still have such an ego. Mythical Myers. Okay, buddy. Sure. Go with that. You know, whatever you want to say in the. Do you want to comment 10 more times? Because your comments, again, are helping the algorithm. I don't know exactly what he's saying, guys. Anybody else can make sense of what it is he's saying? And I'm not making fun of him, too, either. I would really like to understand. What are you trying to say? And how can we help you? What can we do for you, Mythical Myers? What in our conversations would end up helping you live your best life? Is there anything? Okay, I like the way this is working. Oh, yes. Yeah. You think he meant pills? Again, I don't understand. I think undertaking the painting, I mentioned a risky and daring journey, and yes, I agree that you should bit research to see what would be necessary to complete a painting of little-known waters. Okay, I'm good with that. That's Ariane Nitz. I am so sorry that I'm saying your name wrong. Maybe he just needs your seal of approval. I give him the seal of approval of being the best person who has shown up so far to try and troll. You have our seal of approval. So I hope that helps. And the person who has just said that, Arianos, I really am sorry about getting your name wrong a few times. I don't know exactly how to say it, so please don't be offended that I've said it wrong, okay? All right, let's keep on going. Have some fun as we use the makeup brush to just keep on adding. What we're going to do next is going to be kind of interesting as we add some more stuff in here. What we're going to do is we're going to put some more peach into the color now. And now that a lot of the paint has dried in the background, this peach color, as we add it in, is going to really start to pick out a bit of our extra highlight going backward. And we don't want to put too much in or we'll overpower the painting. And we do want to blend it. We want to get it blended with our titanium white that's already on the canvas. There we go. We may even get just a touch of red and put it back over here. Alrighty. You know, the nice thing is that everything's your own little world. You may have ended up hearing that from Bob Ross. In fact, there's something that I would, this individual that keeps on, Mythical Myers, I dare you to start saying Bob Ross was a terrible artist. I dare you to say that in all of the company here. Because everybody here, many of us grew up watching Bob Ross, and he encouraged us to paint. And I encourage you to paint. I hope that you become an artist of incredible renown and do wonderful things. There we go. I'm happy with that. I really want this to, I'm going to get a bit more water on this and see if I can push that up just a little bit. There we go. Let's see. The peach has added some nice depth for us. You have pals that slip into art places which help you get exposure because clearly YouTube isn't cutting it. Well, that's okay. I'm already an artist. I'm not a good one, but I will be better than you and it will be easy for me. I'm okay with that too. You see, that doesn't hurt my feelings, buddy. In fact, I encourage you to do that. Good for you. You know, in fact, I would like everyone in the chat to encourage Mythical Myers. Give him a little bit of encouragement. Tell him that we would love to see his artwork and we would like him to end up being better than me. And if it doesn't take much, that's even better. I love the fact that you've got some massive talent. I want you to keep going with it. There we go. I'm really happy with the way that looks so far. All right. Now, I think I am going to get some red here. We're going to go with a red medium and add that in. Yeah, we are all artists here in our own way, and we support all artists. Yes, we do. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Renee. Okay, let's add to it now, shall we? All right, let's see. By the way, Mythical Myers, keep adding those comments. Keep them coming, buddy. Again, they help the algorithm. So you being angry, which I'm not sure why you're angry, but you being angry, that's wonderful. Please keep doing it. And keep painting. I encourage you to paint. In fact, if you have a YouTube channel of your own, if you have any kind of a channel at all, we want you to share it. We would like you to do very well with your art. Very well. It would be something that would make my heart happy if you ended up becoming an incredibly famous artist and sold your work for millions of dollars. That is not going to hurt my feelings. It's just going to make me happy that you succeeded. All right. I'm very happy with that. I like that darker color. And then I'm going to switch back over to my big makeup brush here. And I'm going to blend it and get it to really feel like it's a cohesive part of the cloud. Yes, it's looking good. All right. Your clouds look pretty good so far. Can't your pals also help you get more exposure there, or is it that you're not that important? Well, why not? I'm not that important. That's okay by me. Let's see. Hey, Mythical Myers, I've heard a lot of people cultivate an area of interest, such as the arts, without real commitment or knowledge. Sure. You know what? Let's not tear him down, though. Let's encourage him. Encourage him to do well. Encourage him to be better than I am, and encourage him to get on and have his own YouTube channel. And you know what, Mythical Myers? When you do, I will follow yours. Not to make any kind of snide comments. No, I will follow yours because I would like to see you succeed. All right, let's get a great big brush and we're going to soften everything. Yes, looks very nice. I'm happy with the way that that works right there. And we're almost done. This was a pretty quick painting since I'm just doing a study, really. And having, oh, you know what? No, I want to add some more highlights in here, but I need the brush that I'm looking for. Of course, it's in the water. Okay. All right. We're going to take, and we're going to go back to our vibrant titanium white. And we're going to add some down here as a little bit of a trail. We've got to really quickly move to a makeup brush. Have some fun getting that in there. That adds a little more depth with it, giving kind of a forefront, a little bit of an envelope going back into the cloud. And we'll get that. That's very nice. Very happy with that. All right. Surprised that my buddy Irvin hasn't jumped on. Might be a little late for him. Irvin's a young man who started following me, and he's starting to become a great artist too. I'm very happy for him. There we go. Oh, yes. I like that. I like having that little window in there. You're saying that because you believe deep down that wouldn't happen and that I'm just another troll, I'll be back with that just to spite you. That's okay. Do it. Mythical Myers, you don't understand. I'm not arguing with you here. I'm encouraging you. And you think it's weird, but yes, Mythical Myers, like Sean said, we all start somewhere. Isaac Newton wasn't born a genius. He had to learn. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Yes. In fact, hey, Mythical Myers, you remember to hit the like and subscribe button. So, and no, I'm not saying, it's really odd when somebody just has to try and tear down another individual. I don't really get it, but that's okay. If that's where you're at with things, go with it, Mythical Myers. And again, we're going to support you and encourage you in it. All right. I do like that. So you can see how we've got a little bit of detail coming in this spot that we didn't have before. Just adds that to the painting. Maybe a little more right here too. Hey, you know what? Maybe Mythical Myers is actually a fan of that one artist who is someone who really dislikes me intensely. That's okay if they are. You know what? If that's the case and they sent you here, more power to you, buddy. It's great. Nobody here is going to tear you down. We're just going to tell you, keep going on your journey. Oh yes, I'm liking the way that works. Let's bring some of that here too. Give me a little bit more of that depth. And surprisingly, we're almost done with this painting. It didn't take much for this one to come through. Maybe we should end up painting Renee another dragon over top of the painting. She liked the dragon the last time we did it. Nice black dragon for her. It was pretty spectacular. Had a lot of fun painting that one for you, Renee. Okay, let's keep going and then we'll check the comments in just a second. Comments, let's see here. I'm back. Hi, Elizabeth. It looks amazing. Thank you, Elizabeth. And Renee, you know you love your dragons. I would love to paint another dragon for you. That would be kind of fun. Okay. All right. And in honor of Mythical Myers, we'd even give you a steeper discount than we did the last time. Just for you, Renee. All right. I think I need a little tendril of this right through here. And I need a different brush. I need a flat brush for a moment to get that spread through and up. And then I need another makeup brush for it, a smaller one. Got to get it a little bit of wet. And there we go. Yes. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, Mythical Myers is gone. A dragon would be very cool. Thank you, Karen. And you need a red dragon? A red dragon would be pretty spectacular over top of this. I think a red dragon, that means that if I were going to do a red dragon, I could really explore the contrast of getting some of this Payne's Gray and some burnt umber in the background mixed with red and a tiny bit of permanent black. That would be the dark side of your dragon. Your highlights, of course, would be red and orange, but the dark side of it would be really fun in that manner. I'm very happy with the way this looks. What if we added a little bit of blue in some unusual spots? What if we brought a little bit of blue here and here? And then let's get our other makeup brush and let's blend those in. A little bit of blue coming forward. Some right there. Oh, I'm having some fun on the canvas. This is an experiment painting. Just having some fun, finding out what happens. Let's see, where are the comments at? Let's see. What's your favorite thing to paint? My favorite thing to paint, Elizabeth? You know what? All the people in the comments are going to know exactly what my favorite thing to paint is. So I'm going to let my friends that are in the comments start telling Elizabeth what my favorite thing to paint is. She's new, by the way, so everybody say hi to Elizabeth. There we go, yeah. That looks good, and we need to soften that. Ooh, that adds some kind of depth that I didn't think I'd get before. I like that. Let's get a little bit more in some certain spots. And we need to just make that blend out and about. Floating Islands, that's it. Andrew beat you to it. Elizabeth, are you an artist as well? Did you say earlier on in the comments that you are an artist? And please tell us, if you're in the United States, tell us what state you're in, because we'd like to hear that. Everybody loves being able to meet people from much further away. If you happen to be near the Washington area and you really want to enter one of the world's most spectacular art shows, I'm going to encourage you to go to Karen's at a place called RadCon. She's phenomenal. And that art show is phenomenal. In fact, let's give a shout out to everyone who works RadCon. They're all a great group of people. Okay, let's add some more of that blue right through here because it looks good. I didn't know that that blue would add that kind of depth to it. I'm really liking the way that it's adding to my clouds. Akron, where is Akron at? Akron. And yes, Elizabeth is an artist. So, Elizabeth, we want you to drop, if you've got an Instagram or a page, you said that earlier. Yeah, we want you to drop that in here. Let everyone know where to find your work. Oh, there we go. Very happy with the way that looks. It's just adding depth. Every single extra layer I add to it. Very happy. Very happy with the way it's looking. Maybe, just maybe, we need just something tiny and special. Let's see if we can get it added in here. We're going to go with a really, really tiny brush, and we will add a couple of birds there. Let's add a third. And then when we end up adding the dragon at a later time, it'll be a pretty spectacular dragon in here for Renee. Ohio. Oh, Akron, Ohio. Yeah, I kind of should have figured that out. I have a cousin who lives out in Ohio. Oh, you guys can barely see. Oh, we've got a couple of birds in there now. In fact, we're about ready to go ahead and put the signature in. No, we're not going to put the signature in because I'm going to paint something for Renee. But yes, Elizabeth, we want you to tell everyone while they're still taking a look at the finished product, we want you to tell everybody where to find your work. Please do that. Drop that in the comments. Tell everyone where to find your work. We will look you up. We will follow you. And Ohio's a long ways away from the Tri-Cities in Washington State. But if you ever get out that way, go to a convention called RadCon or mail some of the art in, because I do know that they allow you to mail art into that convention, and it's one of the most phenomenal conventions you can go to. So guys, at this point, we're going to go ahead and say we are done with this painting until I decide to paint the dragon in it. I don't know that I'm going to paint the dragon in real time, so we'll probably paint it in later. A nice red dragon just for Renee. And unfinished work, well, just every painting's unfinished, right, Andrew? It's not so much finished paintings as they're abandoned. Yeah, what TikTok are you on, Elizabeth? We want to know how to find you. I'll move over here so you guys can see the full painting. That looks nice. That's a good set of clouds. Boy, there's a lot going on in that cloud set. Elizabeth, we're keeping this open. You know what? Well, she's getting ready to tell you guys about everything. Let's walk some of the new people through the art studio and show them some of the larger paintings. And we've got a floating island because, of course, my favorite thing to paint is floating islands. We've got this one, which is actually two characters in my novel. In fact, the novel's right over here. Let's take you over to the novel. The name of the card game that I created is iMagi, Kingdom of Thor card game. In fact, here is iMagi, Kingdom of Thor card game. Here's an example of some of the cards. The cards all have my artwork on them and a couple of other artists. Let's take a look at the novels. We've got The Man Who Would Be Time. We have iMagi. We have a couple of limited edition prints. We've got the game mats. And, of course, we have the iMagi pendant. This is featured heavily by the Magi that are inside the novel. And, guys, we haven't got anything from Elizabeth on what her TikTok is yet. So we're going to stick around just a minute longer because we really would like to know. Here's one of the paintings I finished before back there. And there's the novels. And it is a mess inside the studio. All right. Well, she hasn't mentioned it yet, so unfortunately we're not going to get it on here. But as soon as I find out, Elizabeth, make sure you email me or you go to buymynovels.com. That's B-U-Y, mynovels.com, and find out more. Thanks for joining, guys.